Welcome everybody. I am your king. Yes. All right, hey, first and foremost, before we kick off this 2025 fantasy draft, we want to thank our sponsor, Coke Zero here, for sponsoring this video. They gave us $0 and zero permission to do so, but we figured if at any point they wanted to, we're here. We're here for them. Okay, hey, welcome to this year's fantasy football. We want to do a couple things. We have witnesses here to prove that this is authentic Jake, to make sure that we are not Jake cheating in any way, shape, or form. Jake. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, we can move on. A couple rules with the draft. We also want to thank Tyson and Rick for joining us this year, making it 8 teams. We're doing 2 divisions. And the draft will take place tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Let's make sure that we are there and have your app ready to go. Dad, about 5 hours before it starts, Dad, to make sure that there's no complications when we get going. Dad. Does that make sense? Okay, moving on. The rules of the draft is simple. We are going to roll this bingo ball that we have labeled with 9 balls with everybody's initial on them. Okay? It's fair all across the board. Everybody has 9 balls. The first ball that drops will be the ball that counts for that pick. The first pick, we will go in chronicle order, making sure that, like, you can't pick what spot if your ball comes out first. If your ball comes out first, you will be the first pick of the draft. Okay? So, we're going to get going. If there's any questions about this or the authenticity of it, you can shove it, because it's all real. We're all doing this real time right now. Okay? Alright, so I'm going to rotate the ball a couple times towards me. As I rotate it there, one ball will drop. I have cards underneath here that will indicate I will pull up whose pick it is. Okay? So, to get this going, the first pick of this year's draft. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Alright, and here we go. So, the first pick of this year's fantasy football draft find it. First pick in this year's fantasy football draft will be Rick. Rick will be this year's first pick. Now, just to kind of clarify some stuff too, this will be a snake draft. So, with having the first pick, you won't have the first pick of the second round. You will have the last pick of the second round. But, all right, moving on. Now, if the ball comes out Rick again, we will just discard it, and then we will move on to the next ball. All right, now we're moving. Second pick in this year's draft is Rick. We're gonna hold on. We're gonna do it again. Taking that ball out. Okay.
Let's take Rick to Vegas.
Oh, we got a lucky one. All right, let's see. Second pick.
Leroy? No.
The second pick in this year's fantasy football draft will be me. I'm going to be the second pick, and I will be the only pick that matters going forward. So just make sure that we know that. Okay, moving on. We'll figure out what, we can just turn it off now and move on. You guys do whatever you want. I don't care. Doesn't matter. Not at this point. That second pick. I already know who I'm getting. All right. Just for funsies, we're going to move on, just so you guys can participate in this video too. All right, we're moving. All right, we got it. It's a green one. Oh, it didn't want to drop. It rotated. Oh, there it is. The third pick in this year's draft will be Blake. Blake will be the third pick in this year's draft. All right, moving on to fourth. All right. And just so we know, there's no point in making fun of the Colts whatsoever this season. We all know we're trying to tank for Ark Manning. We all know that. We don't care about the season. Anthony Richardson, is it going to pan out? Don't shoot shots at my Colts. It is what it is. It's not like the Bears, who haven't been irrelevant for the last 35 years. It's just not. Okay? Let's move on. I don't want to hear anybody giving me crap. All right. What pick are we on? Fifth? Fourth. All right, here we go. Fourth pick in this year's draft is Rick again. All right, we'll move on. Oh, we already got a one. Oh, that one didn't want to pop. All right. The fourth pick in this year's draft go to Dad. Dad will get the fourth pick in this year's draft. Doesn't matter what, if he picks first, eighth, fifth, fourth, okay. It is what it is. He's gonna finish eighth anyways. He forgets to set his lineup up probably 17 of the 18 weeks. Like, come on. It don't matter. Moving on. All right. Moving on. All right. We're on pick number 5. All right, we already got one. Here we go. Oh, we already did Blake. All right. Oh, here we go. Dropped already. All right, fifth pick in this year's draft goes to Justin. Justin gets the fifth pick in this year's draft. And at this point, there's actually no more jokes about the Cowboys I can make. It's just kind of sad. And so once it gets sad, it's just sad to make jokes. So I'm going to refrain this year from making fun of the Cowboys in any shape, way, or form, because it's just sad. They have a head coach that could not get offensive coordinator job in any NFL team or Division II college league either. So it's going to be an interesting year. Moving on. Okay. Going forward. All right, so we're on pick number 6. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got. Pick number 6. That one's already been used. All right, we got one dropped. That one's already been used. All right, here we go. That one's already been used.
He's picking Jake every time and just scrolling on by.
That's not true. They were all Justin. What pick are we on? 6?
Yeah.
Okay. This year's 6th pick in this year's draft goes to Jake.
Made him sweat for it.
Yeah. Jake's not going to be happy about that. He was shooting for 4, 5, and 6, and he got right outside that. So we'll see how he feels. All right, moving on. All right, we got 2 more people. We got Zach and Kyson. Let's see if, oh, we got 2 that dropped. We're throwing one of them back. All right. Now Jake pulls up now. All right, here we go. All right, the 7th pick in this year's fantasy football draft goes to the 4th place team in any division in the NFL. Zach gets this year's 7th pick. The reference is to the Broncos. The Broncos suck. I'm pretty sure the Saints could beat the Broncos any given Sunday this week.
Pretty sure this John Birdie squared the Saints
Hey,
last year.
this is my video, not yours. So yeah, which means Tyson gets the last and final pick of this year's first round draft. So I want to thank everybody for participating. I want to make this fun and enjoyable. If you guys have any questions or concerns, let us know or let me know. But yeah, let's enjoy it. Let's banter. Let's go on. Like I said, don't talk crap about my Colts. I already know they suck. It is what it is. We're moving on. Okay? All right, guys. Have a good night. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. The draft will be at 9 o'clock. Dad, make sure your freaking phone is logged in by 5 p.m. Please. That's all I'm asking. 5 p.m. Give you 3-4 hours to figure it out. Love ya a whole bunch. But we all know it is rough every year. Signing off.